Hello everybody and welcome back to Guys on Gaffr. It is Monday night and game week 3 has finished. It's been a very interesting game week and we are here for another episode, a short episode as we've got a very quick turnaround. David and Abhishek are here as normal. How are you both doing?
Doing alright in terms of fantasy wise, but not happy with the football as let's not talk about it. It will make my mood much worse. So yeah, doing alright in terms of fantasy wise. Let's go with that.
Poor United fans. The rest of us love it though.
That's what makes it much worse.
Yeah. Must be shame to be like everyone's laughing stock. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing fine. It's very like game independent if my fantasy feeling is good, but like I forget about 5 minutes later, so it's okay. So I'm doing very poorly in Gaffr and very good in everything else. So
fair.
It's nice to have a Gaffr pod to talk about the bad scores and not talk about all the other scores that have actually done well.
It's the right way around, I think. Everything else going on.
It's more fun to talk about bad scores than just good scores in this.
That's true. Yeah, so the plan for today is just to do a quick Q&A and answer a few questions. I think we've got about 6 questions, and just to give us a little bit of content to kind of address some of the burning questions and uncertainties around the coming game weeks, as we have game week 4 right around the corner tomorrow night. So let's look at our scores from game week 3 first of all. This week mine is up first. And as you can see, I said on the last pod, I think I was about 50-50 on away days. I ended up playing away days. And it's been a very weird week because I feel like I've been unlucky in some respects, but also extremely lucky in other respects. So like unlucky in the sense that, for example, Brownhill got booked in like the 87th minute or something and went from a full bonus 6-pointer down to a 1-pointer, which normally I wouldn't massively care about, but because I'm on away days, it's done quite a bit. And it sounded like, I didn't manage to see the game, it sounded like he came pretty close to getting a return or two as well, so that was a shame. And then Aaron Ramsey missed a sitter from an Aaron's assist, for example, as well. But I got incredibly lucky because I had Chair, who got his amazing free kick goal, which was really, really nice, and then obviously the assist for Seny Dieng's 92nd minute equaliser, which is just brilliant. I absolutely loved that. That was huge. And then I also got a very cheeky penalty save. It might be my first Gaffr penalty save ever, potentially, from Fisher, and a clean sheet. So that's a huge swing, considering obviously not only did he save the penalty, but he also kept the clean sheet intact. So it could have. It's not a brilliant score, but it could have been a whole lot worse, particularly considering it's been a game week where a lot of people, that there are people out there who've done quite badly. Like there's been huge variation in scores from the really quite bad scores to the kind of normal and good scores. So yeah, it's okay. But Vyman though, when it's like 20 points, it's okay, but considering like away days is factored into it, there's 27 points difference. I calculated it's 27 points difference, but when there's away days and vice captaincies and captaincies playing into it, it's quite hard to swallow that decision to go with Perot instead. I did think about getting him in, but I didn't really want. I thought I'd end up taking like a -8 involving selling Pookie and stuff, or I'd end up selling Pookie. So I was like, I can't do that. So yeah, that's me. But I did sell Rashika, which is good for Wallace. I'm pleased with that transfer.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Next up, we've got David.
Yeah. So I got like 3 times the. You got the 3 times more points than me, Joe, basically, because I got 37 -4. So not good at all. The only good thing was Gooden. I don't know his name. Godden, who got the 13-pointer, so that was nice. But Captain Wallace 4 points was better than Pookie at least. So I guess that's the thing. But 5.6k gaming rank down to 2.1k from 876. So yeah, not good.
Early days. I think I've got to say what my rank is. 293rd. I'm happy enough with that at this stage with one boost played. Abhishek.
Yeah, so the pretty much standard week for me. I think I took a hit, and because I had whole midfield of my squad was not playing or injured, so I had to change. So I think I brought in O'Dowda, Swift, and Pritchard, and I think O'Dowda was nice. He
pick.
provided me nice return. Yeah.
Really good pick.
The only disappointment was Swift because he was my captain and he only delivered 1 point. So that kind of stings. Apart from that, normal from defense. Brady got 13 pointers, so that's nice. My Preston double up again, doing wonders for me because Woodman gave me 5 points, Brady gave me 13 points, so again 18 points from the both of them, so which is nice. Interesting to get 6 points from Sorinola because I did not expect Swansea to keep a clean sheet. Glad they did. So yeah, apart from that, we kind of have to think about doing something to our Norwich players because they are not doing well at all. And so yeah, the Norwich duo of Aarons and Pookie gave me 4 points. Piro is I can't wait to get him out.
At least your own Vyman.
Yeah, Wyman. So basically, what my left hand side of the screen, you can see all my point scorers in the left hand side, and the rest of them are nominal points. Yeah. So yeah, 65 minus 4, 61 gave me a red arrow of 20 places.
It's nothing.
So yeah, I think due to the average score being high and not popular own players not scoring well, I think
I'm actually surprised that's a red arrow, to be honest. Looking at 61 net, I'm surprised that's a red arrow.
I think last week I got 63 points and received a grey arrow. So 61 points. I was expecting a red arrow. In no way I am getting a green arrow.
It's just because so many there are teams that have done so badly this week, like David's and a couple of others that come to mind from the community. Just make some quite template teams have done quite badly.
I kind of feel like in the minority now. I'm doing so badly compared to you guys. So and I'm seeing in the Gaffr chat Andy Martin getting top. Is it top 20 now? But it's
he's
crazy
top 10.
to see how
He's
has he even played this game before?
No, it's quite depressing, isn't it? It's he has played 2 boosts, David. So I'm sure I
played 1.
yeah, I know what you mean though. It's waltzing in here, waltzing into Gaffr, just get yourself into the top 10.
It's more so. It's the I think he played Park the boost on game week 2. I guess last game week.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And he got the goal from Giants, time on assist. So
yeah,
it's like those moves has made the difference, but it's early days as
far too. Yeah. Don't be discouraged, David. 43 game weeks to go.
Yeah,
43 game weeks.
Who knows?
Hey. I'm just living like Captain Hulk.
It's
right, David. You've got a good place to rant and vent out your frustrations on this pod.
Yes.
Yeah. So 61 points. I finished in the end. I think I am overall 170th. And that 61 point gave me a game week rank of 1.3k. That tells you that this week hasn't been that much good for template players. I think who has out of the box players who nobody owns. I think those guys have really scored this. I think the likes of Gordon, Sims, Dieng. I think hardly I've seen Dieng owners got a goal.
He's barely owned.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. let's move on to... Actually, before we move on to our questions, quick mention for our pod team. I can't remember exactly what score we got. I think it was like 24 or 28 points or something. It was in the 20s. It was a disaster for our pod team. And as such, we have handed the Gaffr community team their first point of the season. So EFL Fantasy guys got a solid score. I think they got 69 points. And then we got in the 20s. And then the community team got like 35 or something like that. So we don't have a screenshot of it or anything. But the current standings are... we are on 4 points. EFL Fantasy are on 7 points. The Gaffr community are on 1 point. So we need to bounce back, but we've got 2 free transfers going into game week 4. So hopefully you can see what we can do. The other thing to mention, most of you will know this already, but those of you who don't, Coventry versus Wigan has been called off. The pitch issues still a big problem at the moment. It sounds like a really annoying situation, to be honest, for all involved. And Coventry was supposed to have a new pitch laid over the summer, and that didn't happen. And the pitch is still wrecked from the Commonwealth Games. So another postponement. And yeah, let's do it. Right, let's get...
Yeah, I think more postponements will become for Coventry because it's not easy to relay the whole new pitch.
Don't know what will happen.
It's better that the EFL schedule all those away games early and play those away games quickly, then sort out your pitch during the World Cup and play the home games. It's going to be massive, those home games. If you have back-to-back 6-7 home games, whoosh.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be quite like that, but it's double game weeks, isn't it? So we'll see. We're used to double game weeks in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, it's still like the
not
new
so early.
They're like the new Rotherham.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Only that Rotherham are actually good this year somehow. But
Yeah.
All right, let's get into these questions then. So, David, fire away.
Yes. Our first question comes from Vermanatan_600k on Discord. And he says, keep Victor, ? And long-term goalkeeper option. So it's like 2 questions in one, basically.
Well, I think Victor's quite an easy one. I mean, if Victor didn't have the postponement, I would say keep, probably. But it's got to be a sell, right?
100%.
Yeah. I'm on the fence because I have gotten, and I'm like, I just bought him. Should I just sell him again? It feels wrong. But if he's like getting postponements every other week, like I can't keep him.
Yeah, Godden's potentially different because of his price point, I guess, because it's harder to move. Like the options to move off aren't as good. But then there's like the Sunderland guys are doing really well, but they've got Sheffield United this week, which is difficult.
It gives me like an excuse to start the Field, the GOAT, every week.
You shouldn't be starting Field ever.
Yeah, I know. He'll get a goal again. So
I don't get the hate. I really don't get the hate. I mean, if Willock scores those goals, what's the guy going to do if he gets the assist points? I mean, I really don't get the. I get.
I don't think there is any hype anymore, to be honest. Don't think there is any hype.
I mean, for one day, I do get it that it's a ridiculous assist, but come on, it's not going to boil down for a whole 7 days. I still can't get. Oh, moving on. And what's the next part of his question?
Long-term goalkeeper options.
Yes.
Long-term goalkeeper, I think Burnley goalkeeper Muric, Dieng can be an option. Woodman can be an option. And if you have to spend if you are willing to spend 6 million or 6.5 million, then there are loads. I think Biakowski of Millwall, Fotheringham of Sheffield United, beg your pardon.
Actually, what surprises me is that Bachmann is top for points.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
23 points, 6.0. And we slammed Watford for their awful fixture at the start. He's the top scoring goalkeeper.
He must have had quite a few saves, I would have thought, because of those tough fixtures. I'm guessing.
Did Watford keep 3 clean sheets, didn't they? Or did they concede in one? They conceded against Blackburn last night.
I can check.
They beat Burnley 1-0. They beat Borough. Is it
They
Borough
have,
first?
they have
Drew 1-1.
kept 2 clean sheets and 1-1 against West Brom. So the 2 clean sheets were against Sheffield United and Burnley, so that's pretty good actually. So he could be a long-term haul for sure, I think.
Thing is,
Yeah.
6 million. I still think 6 million is a lot to spend. If you really want to set and forget, I can understand it, but I think.
Yeah, that's the question though. Long term.
Yeah. But even
You know what?
even going for a cheap keeper, you're not going to look to swap them around much. I mean, if your preference is cheaper, who would you go for as well? I guess it's worth asking.
No one.
Maybe the Wigan keeper, Amos. I mean, they've looked fairly solid. They've looked okay. They're getting half. They've drawn 1-1 with Wigan. They've kept a clean sheet against Preston, who admittedly haven't been the best. But they've drawn 1-1 with Bristol City. So, they've got half clean sheet in every game. That's ticking along at least 4 points, and maybe he could be an option.
How about Ingram? I think Hull has been. Yeah, they have been keeping. I'm surprised to see Hull this good. I'm really surprised. So, yeah, I think if you're looking for a set and forget and cheaper, I think Woodman can be an option, but he has got a price rise of 0.1.
And then John Ruddy, like Birmingham, have only, as much as we bashed them in pre-season, they conceded 1 against Cardiff. That's half clean sheet. They drew with Luton game week 1, and then I can't remember what happened in game week. They beat Huddersfield. They've had at least a half clean sheet in every game as well. So again, taking over, you just need a half clean sheet. A team that's relatively solid and gets half clean sheets to be happy. So I think it's a few options.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's answering the question nicely. Should we move on? We can have another question from Discord from Fancy Champman Tips. I don't know what's the last word.
Champman Tips Shared.
Okay.
His name is.
Yeah, and he asks, or she asks, what's the best players to target on your wildcard?
Tricky question.
We're seeing a lot of talk on wildcard at the moment, so that's probably why the question is coming up.
I mean, there's obviously the Burnley fixtures become quite good now. The Watford fixtures become quite good now, and the Sheffield United fixtures do too. So that's 3, and Middlesbrough. So there's 4 big teams who've had a fairly tricky start, and then have a good run of fixtures. So you could look to get ahead on some of those teams, like your Sanderberger and Jais. If you don't have Maatsen already, or get someone like Maatsen, Brownhill. Who else? The Sheffield United defender could be good. Watford, they're still a bit unpredictable at the moment. But I mean, if you're on wildcard, you could chuck Ismail Assar in, because if he leaves, you can go down to anyone from him. I'd only recommend Ismail Assar if you're on Overhaul. I wouldn't recommend him otherwise, I'd say.
I think I saw the bid. They hadn't bid for him. Was it Leeds that hadn't put in a bid?
Yeah.
So if I haven't seen talk with any other clubs than Leeds, so he would now know that Dennis has gone. So if I were Watford's manager, I wouldn't want to sell him. But if they are not even getting bids, that's like a good bet on wildcard, I think, or Overhaul.
Yeah, I mean, those are the sorts of teams I'd prioritise. Anything else, Abhishek, would you say as well?
The only thing, made in Gaffr, it's not called wildcard, it's called Overhaul. So
we all
not
do
make that mistake.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the only thing. And apart from that, what Joel said, nothing new to add.
Yeah, I would probably get Diaz in, and maybe jump off Pukki, because you don't have to take the hit to take him out. So even if he gets something the next week, like it's or something, you're not like in -8 points compared to those that just have him. So
Yeah.
it's a nice opportunity to get players in for the positions you have without like hits and stuff. So
something to bear in mind. I did hear that Blackburn have had like the lowest XG of like all the teams, and yet they've managed to obviously they're top. I think they're top of the table now. So it's just something to bear in mind. But that Brereton Diaz doesn't need much XG to. He's a good finisher, right? So he doesn't need many chances to return. So
I don't care if he he scores like 10 and had like 0.1 XG. He still got the goal. So yeah.
Blackburn are a hard one to call at the moment. It's hard to know whether they're going to keep it up or not. But yeah, we all know Brereton Diaz is a great asset. So yeah, that's a good shout, David.
It looks like they are like popular picks in the community as well, because Hedges has gone up 2 times already. He's 5.7 now, so something must be happening. We can look at the next question from @DaveFoster1991 on Twitter, and he asks, best replacement for Bidwell.
Do you want to go first on this one, David?
Yeah, best replacement. The thing is, like, many of the players that I would want to replace him with are not 5.5. Apart from Brady, who could be actually a very good option. I like so typical. I had him in my draft, bro. That's one of the players I regret not keeping, because I wasn't considering Maatsen, but Brady I was considering. But he's like a little step down in price and probably better value. Yeah. Who else is there? Like, it's either players that are 6 million or up, or 5.5 players that have gone 0.1 up. So like you're in a bit of a difficult situation if you're not downgrading. So yeah, I'm not sure. Do you guys have any options that are exactly 5.5 or under? Because I presume he's doing a replacement.
I've not really thought about it, because I'm going to sell Bidwell as well this week, but I've got 0.5 in the bank, so I am 99% sure I'm going to go to Giles. So yeah, I think if you have the money, I would definitely go up to 6, because there's just so many good options there. I mean, Maatsen, I think I'm not guaranteed to go for Giles. I would probably consider Maatsen, but I need the extra 0.1, so I probably need to take a hit. Ahmed Tuzovic, who's something like that, the new Sheffield United defender who's looked really good so far. And then Giles are the main 3. I mean, the thing with Giles, the only thing that puts me off slightly with Giles is that Middlesbrough defensively have been a bit suspect so far, albeit with difficult fixtures. But the attacking potential is so good with Giles that I think he's the standout for me, and that he's who I'm probably going to go to. But there's lots of good options.
Yeah, I think if Watford does shore up their defense, I think the Watford duo of Siralta and Cathcart are exactly 5.5. They haven't had a price rise. So if you are going to have the exact amount of money, nothing in the bank, then you can go. And if you are going to downgrade it, then I think Brady is the obvious pick. Apart from that, I think you can look at Collins of Cardiff. He's also out. I think Cardiff fixtures are sort of okay after this game week. I think next 2 especially, it's Bristol City and Preston. Although you are not going to get a full clean sheet, because I think Wyman will score for Bristol at least a goal. So you're gonna get half clean sheet.
I'm not.
And against Preston, if Preston are not really good scorers, if they are going to win, that's going to be 1-0. So definitely half clean sheets you're gonna get from Cardiff. Possibly an attacking return, because the likes of Colin and O'Dowd are linking up very well, especially on the right hand side. So yeah, those are my options. And if you are looking, and there are loads of defenders in 4.5 to 5 regions, so you can choose any one of them who has a nice run of fixture like this.
Cool.
Yeah,
very nice. We can go on to the next question, which is from Adam All Sports Adam with the underscores between them, and he asks or says, triple up on Swansea assets and Norwich assets hasn't worked out well. Which players or teams are good moves away from them? Even with 2 transfers tempted to do in mindset. I'm sure you will cover that absolutely useless, embarrassing keeper to London. Please God make him go. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Had a shocker at the weekend, didn't he?
I mean, he owned 3 Swansea and 3 Norwich. I really feel for him because out of the 15, 6 players. Oh God.
I mean, I was the same until this week.
I feel your pain, Adam.
And then I sold Obafemi and he got 9 points. You know, that would be quite nice in the way it is as well. So it's like, I don't think I made the bad decision. It's just like,
yeah.
What can you do? I mean, I think it's going back to what we said before. The teams that are coming into a good run of fixtures, trying to get ahead on those teams, and obviously we haven't mentioned like Jed Wallace, for example. He's looking like worth the 1 million extra. Finally, I have Jed Wallace in my team, guys. I have him in my team for like the first time ever.
Let's go.
He's a bonus magnet.
He mops it up every game.
Yeah. Every bloody week he mops it up.
Doesn't matter if West Brom are winning or losing the game, he just gets some bonus.
Finally, people are putting some respect on his name. Like, he's been so much hated in the Gaffr community.
It's because he plays for West Brom, and they, in theory, score more goals than Millwall.
Yeah.
So he's
still, some people are like, it's Jed Wallace. He doesn't do anything.
He could become
not true.
Yeah, I think. I mean, West Brom lose, but he's going to get 4 or 5 points. Like yesterday, I think he got 4 to 5 points. I mean, Okay, moving on. Wallace can be an option, and I think now Diangana seems to have sort of nailed his spot in the first 11 unless DK gets fit. So
he's out for us quite some time. So
yeah. So I think you can, if you're looking to not spend the amount of money Swift and Wallace then you can go for Diangana, I think. And I think Robinson is not going anywhere as of now. So he can be another option.
Well, no, we're not going to go for Robinson, are we? He's not going to start.
He's too expensive. He's like 0. How much is he? 9?
It's like 8.5 million, I think.
Yeah,
8.5. I think he should go to some. Yeah, I think for his betterment and for us, I think he should go to another championship club and play regularly. Otherwise,
what happened to? He was going to Preston, or didn't that
I
happen?
think Preston has shifted their focus to some other players, and they're doing well. And after signing Parrott, I don't think they are going to go for Callum Robinson. That was a weird one.
Yeah. Just to comment on him having 2 transfers, I think that's a good position. But yeah, if you still have triple Swansea and triple Norwich, -8 doesn't look too bad.
-12 also doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, we always say like hits are worth it in Gaffr, so at least when it comes to those bottom half teams now, it's what's
totally bin me your Swansea and Norwich assets, barring one.
To be fair, Norwich had. I heard that they had quite a good amount of chances last game, so it's not like they're not trying. But yeah, we're playing a fancy game, and we don't care if they played well unless we don't get points from them. So
yeah,
nice. And yeah, Lumley, what do you do? Go to Ruddy, get rid of him.
Reading conceded 4 goals. He's still got you 2 points.
It's because they conceded them all in the first half and he got a half clean sheet.
That was not his merit at all. Yeah, stats are. You have to read the stats right for them to actually.
Yeah, he will get you points. Irrespective of how reading does, he will get you points.
Abhishek, I apologise for this in advance, but when I watched the highlights, they said something really funny. They said something like Tom Ince, not Tom Ince, about Paul Ince, and they said that would never happen back in the day with Paul Ince's Man United team. On the same night that United had just lost, and then he said some other pass-away comment that was blatantly having a dig at United. It was funny. It's really funny.
The whole of England is having a dig at United in any possible way.
Even the commentators for like a totally unrelated game in Championship are still like.
He found a connection somewhere.
Props to him.
I mean, how ridiculous does it look? The manager is doing a post-match interview and he's asking, the last time United won the league after losing the first 2 games were in 1992. We are still reminiscing to the fact that 1992 season will come back. I mean, it's 2022. It will not come back.
Yeah, you're not winning the league this year, mate.
Yeah, it will not come back. I mean, why does they reminiscent to the fact that we used to be good. We have to come so far. We have to improve so many things to get to the likes of Liverpool and City.
And speaking of like deviating from things like we are a Gaffr pod and we're talking about Manchester United again, so yeah, maybe we should move on. We can go to the next question. Yeah, Declan Murphy, Deck_Murphy at Twitter. He says, and actually a bit the same vein as some other question we're getting, but he says, is an overhaul now viable as Norwich are so bad, Coventry getting cancelled at ETC, and just used as a standard cap for double commentary?
I assume that means
in
the double game weeks. Just
instead he's probably thinking like instead of using captain boost, maybe is it time for Pukki ditch? Yes, but the other part, overhaul, it's more viable now, I would say, than the start of the season, because we always say don't overhaul, but this is so unprecedented, even for the championship. So, what do you guys think about the overhaul?
Yeah, I think it's a viable option because all those Coventry assets are a sell to me, because we don't know when we are going to get a home game out of them unless that pitch gets relayed. So there will be more postponements, and they have possibly I'm seeing that they have in the next 6 they have 3 home games.
We don't know that they're going to be. I think we can't say for certain. I think it's a bit unclear.
You have seen the pitch. We all have seen the skills of that.
They're going to be working so hard to find a solution, because this can't go on. This can't keep happening.
Also, after relaying the pitch, that's need to be relayed properly, because injuries will be happening in the new pitch.
Just get the artificial grass, like
also,
you didn't blow them.
Also, I did read what the article Coventry posted, and they said they had, for the Wigan game, they'd explored the option of reversing the fixture and playing it at Wigan Stadium, but they couldn't because of commitments at the DW Stadium. So potentially they will look to do that in other games if the pitch is still an issue. But
Speaking of, Coventry players are sell as of now. And it's more and more viable overall, because lots of teams that we have invested in are not in form, so you kind of have to go take hits. I think -12 is max you can take it in a game week if you are not using boost. So if you are using a boost, then -16 easier, but not too early, because it's only game week 3. So use the overall. We all know that it's a waste of a boost, because you could have played some other boost instead of overall, but such is the situation now that you kind of have to use it if your team requires it, obviously.
I'm of the opinion still try to avoid it if possible. Like maybe look at what your team would look like with a -8. Are you happy with it, or is it still really looking bad? If it's looking fine, or there's only 1 or 2 issues to sort, then I would probably hold on to it, because I mean, some of the teams I've seen on Twitter from people who said they're thinking of overhauling, they're really not bad on paper at all. They're absolutely fine. There's just, a few players that have, completely underperformed that could still end up doing all right. Like Pookie.
Yeah.
Pookie may come good in the next few weeks, for example.
I mean, he did look good.
Yeah,
I
he
think
had
in
4
last
shots on
game.
target.
Yeah, he did look good. It's just that Lady Luck was not on his side, I guess.
So I think patience is still potentially a good thing with certain players, not with every player. If you're setting up for away days, though, because I know away days 6 is popular. If you're setting up for away days, then go ahead with Overhaul. I think it makes sense. If you both hate your team and you want to play away days game week 6, I think it does make a lot of sense.
I would say if you have triple Swansea, triple Norwich, and many have double Coventry, then I think you can do it, and without feeling you're missing out, because those points that they are losing by not playing the Overhaul and holding for another chip, you can lose them in the weeks waiting for it. So I think you're not wasting it, but it's a difficult question.
This is why Overhaul's just really hard to quantify its gain compared to the other boosts, where you have set multipliers that you can calculate. How many extra fixtures have I got? It's really hard to quantify it. So it's a good point, David.
Yeah, and also I think don't overall into playing a boost, because it may affect you in the long run. So if you are overhauling in the team, see to it that after in which game week that you are playing a boost, either on next game week or previous game week, that game there is a decent amount of game, because if you are overall into, then you can't take out, because you are not getting any overall back. So see to it that if you are using an overall, don't overall into playing that boost, and after that said game week you can't get out of that team. So keep in mind that also.
That's a good point. Yeah,
it will hamper your season.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer for that question. We can go on to the next question, which is from Darren Dronach on Twitter. And he has sent us a screenshot of his team, because he says, "This is my team for this week. I'm on Park the Bus. My midfield is weak. What do I do for the weekend to change it? Looking at moving Johnson or Patterson out." And I can just read out the team for those not watching. He has Fisher in goal, Naismith, Jones, Bree, Aarons, and Roberts. In midfield he has Field and Rashika, and then he has Feynman, Dykes, and Pookie, with Johnson, Patterson, Sykes, and Busanis on the bench.
In terms of the key weaknesses, I guess, Patterson is the big one. Dykes is fine for another couple of game weeks, and then the fixtures get a bit tougher, I think, in game week 6. But he's a fine hold for the next couple of weeks. Patterson, Rashika, Naismith are the 3 transfers out that I would probably prioritise of those lot, and then Johnson is also up there, but he's got a decent couple of fixtures. So address the weaknesses, and those are the main weaknesses.
Yeah. And he also is on. He said he's on Park the Bus, so I wouldn't use transfers on mids when you're not even going to play them, most likely. I would probably still play Johnson ahead of Field.
Yes.
So you don't need to use transfer on that. I think Patterson can just be on the bench. But Naismith, yes. If to maximize the boost, I would just get rid of him, because you want the best players possible for that chip. And like we spoke about, there are so many options that you can get on that around that price. So
I think Patterson and Rashika are the main ones to sell. I mean, the Field is an able bench option, Sykes is an able bench option. So Patterson, Rashika, Johnson, if you need those, at least Patterson and Rashika are sell 1 and 2 immediately, because it's not going to help much. I mean, very much low price midfielders are doing very well as of now. So just sell those 2 at first, look where your squad stands, then move on. I think, as Joe mentioned, Naismith, see to be in the line of selling before Johnson.
Yeah, I guess
So,
Naismith you can bench more often than not, to be fair, though, so maybe he can wait, to be fair.
Yeah, but Naismith is starting, right?
Yeah, but presumably that's because of part of the bus, and in most weeks he won't start him, right?
Yeah,
So he'd probably start another midfielder.
Plus,
looking at how much money he has in midfield, I would assume he is playing. Probably 3 or 4 in midfield in most weeks. So.
Yeah. Plus, Naismith is playing centre back, which diminishes his appeal quite a bit.
It's just Bristol City are terrible defensively. So
double whammy.
All right.
Yeah, I think we get a new defender because we're playing that boost. So yeah, I think that's nice. We can move on to the next question. I'll just find it first. This is the last slide we have. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, the first question is from Thomas, who is on the Man on Pod, and he says, "I'm contemplating overhauling. If I were to get 3 players from 3 teams, which 4 would you pick? Burnley feels like there should be one in terms of value. Norwich maybe."
Which three teams would we pick, presumably?
If they were to get 3 players from 3 teams.
I'm guessing that's a typo. Which 3 teams would you pick?
Yeah.
So is he saying? So he's saying 3 teams to triple up on.
Yeah.
Okay. Not Norwich.
No.
But I think I agree with his Burnley shout. I think Burnley are definitely one, because you can easily have a defender or 2 and Brownhill. Triple. I'm not sure on triple ups, to be honest.
Maybe someone like Birmingham, because they're so cheap, like Colin, Ruddy, and.
Colin, and no doubt. You can't get 2 players, and a triple up is really hard to call, I think, because the ones that have good run of fixtures, they don't have 3 players. We can single out 1 and 2 are coming to our minds.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, I think likes of Sheffield, I think Sanderberg and Jai. Apart from that, you can't suggest anyone because that's a rotating. I think Max Lowe, is he still there at Sheffield?
Yeah, he played yesterday. I don't think he's not nailed.
Yeah, so apart from Sanderberg and Jaya, I don't think we can suggest any other one. Maybe if you are looking to invest at goalkeeper, then Fotheringham. Then there is your 3rd guy, but that's too much. So,
I think you can get like Ahmed Hodzik as one of them. And we are in the NDI also. But one team I would say, go on.
Isn't he a centre back?
Yeah.
But he can get he gets bonus, right? Is it?
Yeah, they're solid. They're so solid. Sheffield United at home, at least. And they've got such a good run of fixtures. Like the clean sheets are there, I think.
Yeah, the good run starts now, so this is the time to get them. I think that's a good option. The thing I was going to say was, if you want to go aggressive for one of the better teams in this league, you can go triple midfield from West Brom.
Yeah.
You can go Swift and then Wallace and Diangana.
That's like unheard of, a triple up in the midfield, but it's good. Carry on, David. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jones double up from West Brom, right? Wallace and Swift. You own or David owns? Who owns?
Yeah, I have Swift and Wallace at the moment.
Yeah. So how about adding Diangana to that group?
Yeah, mate, why not? Like he's probably worth more than 7.5 if you come to a place like this.
I think if you are looking to sell Pookie, I think you can invest it somewhere else.
Yeah, you can also get Watford players like those 2 defenders, or Sarr, or even Backman or Bachmann. Do we like Pedro? Is he the preferred striker now because of Dennis leaving?
Yeah, I think, but He also has a transfer rumor. I
Really?
think Newcastle are after him, so
Hmm.
just have to
There you go.
watch. Apart from I think Sar stays now because
Mad,
Dennis
but
has gone. Yeah, Dennis has gone. And Sar is the odd one out because he wants to move, but he can't move. Every other players that he played with has moved on, but he is still stuck at Watford.
It's weird that it's
So
him that's like left behind out of
yeah,
all those players.
and
Super weird.
he's loyal too. I think. I mean, he really provides the goals and assists wherever he plays. So that sort of player is really good. In
He's like the new Synchronoggle. Never gets the movie once.
they have Watford have just got Keenan Davis. So if he does go, Javier does go, we've got Keenan Davis as a replacement.
Yeah, that's good.
What a guy.
Other teams, Middlesbrough, maybe they have Jones and Giles, and they have strengthened a bit. Like we complained they didn't have any strikers. They have strikers now.
yeah, plus they have signed Mowat, so that's a really good
Yeah.
signing.
What was the deal with that?
That's such a surprising transfer.
That's an amazing
Was it a
transfer.
loan? Was it a loan?
It's loan, yeah.
Yeah, it's a loan.
Mad.
Yeah.
Why would they give him to Watford? Like Middlesbrough, like that's a rival for them. Did they like just not rate him?
It's Bruce has a good heart, hence he has accepted the request of Mowat.
You shouldn't be kind to your rivals.
I think Chris Wilder has said we are meeting. We are the 1-2 of the EPF of championship. So lend us few players. We will be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thomas wants us to name players. So, which is the next team we can suggest him?
I'm not sure it's
I think we've
more
covered it, to be
anymore.
honest.
Yeah. Unless it would be like the teams with very cheap players, and then we have to look like deep into those players. But like, yeah, maybe Hull, but you don't want triple Hull players in the team.
I think more of the story is we don't like triple ups on most teams. We like double ups on a lot of them.
Yeah, if you're going to triple up, then go for the teams that you know will do well. But like, otherwise, try to avoid it maybe. Yeah. I think we can go to the next question, which is from Pontus Forever QPR. And he asks, who will score most points until game week 15 out of the 6 million mids, Pritchard, Honeyman, or Brownhill? That's a hard one, I think.
Brownhill.
Yeah, you're biased. I'm also biased, so I'm checking what you think.
I'm biased.
I also have Brownhill, so.
I think Brownhill is going to be. It's a tough one because who is the other one? Honeyman, right?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So it's going to be between Brownhill and Honeyman. I'm still not decided because I am 50-50 on both of them. Because Pritchard is more of an assist provider, so he gets out pretty much from the reckoning early on. So I think it's gonna be between Honeyman and until Fleming returns. I think Honeyman will be scoring goals, but when Fleming returns, he's going to be lighting up the championship. So from that case, Brownhill has a much more secured one, I think, in terms of scoring because they don't have a genuine goal scorer as of now. And I'm not recommending Ashley Barnes. He's not a number 9. He's definitely not.
Why are you talking about Ashley Barnes?
Yeah.
The love for Fleming as well, I don't quite understand, but we'll see what happens when he gets into the team.
That's like rating Twine before he's even played.
Yeah, those are the two players that's going to do well. It's a shame that they have been injured. They have been ravaged by injuries.
I don't think we know. I'd say we don't know until they play, to be honest. But
yeah, I think it's like typical to overrate players that we haven't seen play because they could be
honest. To be honest, for the past 2 weeks, the players that I have called on have scored me handsome points. I'm going to stick with that.
All right, Mr. Leading Gaffer, guys on Gaffr pod host.
Yeah, it's getting to his head. Like we shouldn't listen to him.
I think we've kind of digressed from the question though. So we
Yeah.
both said Brownhill. I think they'll all three will do well though. All three will be good.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
But I think
going to
Brownhill.
be.
David,
Get two.
Yeah.
Get two of them or three.
So 2 votes for Brownhill and half for Brown from me. I think half for Brownhill, half for Honeyman. I'm
On the
really
fence.
can't. I
Yeah.
can't really differentiate between those two.
I would actually put Pritchard slightly ahead of Honeyman to be personally, but
Of course you do. Of course you're gonna. Of course.
but anyway.
Okay. Let's start. Next question.
Very nice. Actually, these are the two last questions we have, which are both from Angus, Angus81 on Twitter. The first question is a bit more football related, and it says, "Who are the biggest priority players for you that aren't currently in your teams?" You can take that one first.
Very personal to our team. I mean, for me, it's
That's
defense.
interesting.
So I'm thinking I need to get rid of Timon and Bidwell, and Bidwell first is on the list. So I am looking to, and then also I want to kind of get rid of either Hume or Ruffles and upgrade. So like basically, saying this very ineloquently, but my plan is to get Giles like fairly soon, and then I want to downgrade Chair in game week 6 and get another big defender. So like I'm looking at Burnley defenders, Sheffield United defenders, Middlesbrough defenders. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My player will be Wyman because I hate not having him in my team. So all the other things shouldn't be part of us before I get him because he's too good.
I'm gonna be stubborn.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill me.
Just don't get him.
So 2 players for me. I think I'm not looking at defense. I'm not looking at midfield. I'm looking at forwards. It's gonna be Jacob Brown, and I don't know why Michael O'Neill doesn't start him. So
Of course it is. Of course it's gonna be Jacob.
yeah. And the second one is going to be Sims. I think I have eye on these 2 players. You may see, you may see a forward line of Wyman, Sims, and Jacob Brown in any one of the weeks. So if you follow my team list, so
knowing your luck, he will probably start on just. It's so typical.
I don't know why they doesn't start with Brown. I mean, they are looking for all other players on loan. You have a genuine goal scorer. Why don't you start him day in, day out? So, those 2 are my players that I'm going to look forward. That I'm at the moment I'm not owning, but I'm looking forward to owning soon.
Yes, very nice. And then the last question, he asks, after the conversation generated by my McDonald's question last weekend, good question. What's your favorite type of biscuit? And, this is interesting because I feel like there's more of a culture for like multiple types of biscuits and favorites in the UK than in Norway. And I don't know how it is in India, but I think we'll have very different answers here.
I mean, my answer is quite straightforward. It's a bourbon. You can't beat a bourbon.
What's that?
It's like a chocolate biscuit with like like a have you had a custard cream?
Yeah, that's like the light one with like cream in the middle and then another one, right?
Yeah, but it's just like chocolate version, chocolate cream.
Okay, yeah, because we have custard creams, but we don't cover that here. But that's like I go to like a church that at home that's like a bit small, and we always have like some biscuits or something afterwards, and like it's always that one or like some other cookies that you're not like super fan of. Like custard creams are okay.
Yes.
How about you, Abhishek?
3 type of biscuits I like. I think the regular one that I eat with tea and coffee in the morning and in the afternoon, I think that's the thin arrowroot, I guess. Digestive biscuits you may call in your countries. So digestive biscuits, bourbon biscuits, Although in India, I think we have only two types of bourbon biscuits. I think one is the chocolate one, and I think another one is there is a variant that is mixed with the orange and chocolate flavors. They have mixed
Right.
both of them. And another one is the Good Day biscuits, the cashew biscuits, the cashew nuts biscuits that they provide.
Mm.
It's very sweet and it's very caloried because they have it's better for dieting person to not eat those type of biscuits. But for me, those three are the top three biscuits that are there in my house that I eat on a daily basis.
Yeah. I just when listening to you, I just remembered. Is it like just when you ask for biscuits? Is it just like sweet biscuits or savory biscuits as well?
I mean, savory can be included if you like.
Yeah.
We have salty biscuits as well. So 50-50 crack jack. That these are two barley from barley. And these two biscuits are salty biscuits.
Yeah, so I would say in Norway the most popular kind of cookie is like chocolate chip cookie. The most popular one is like a bit crunchy one, but I like those that are like very chewy, and like either with chocolate chip or it's like one that I tasted was like cheesecake flavor. I think that was the one. That was very good. But the reason I talked about the like savory cookies is like there's like one which I like very much. That's not good. It's one with paprika flavor.
Ooh.
And you can just like eat it like chips. It's just too good.
Very interesting.
That's in a cookie shape.
Yeah, it's like a squarish shape actually, and it's like almost addictively good. So you can't just buy it without like having restraint. So yeah, I think that would be my two. So I hope you're happy with your answers, Angus, and keep those. We like these food related questions because it's interesting because we have three different cultures and three different types of food. So keep them coming. That's fun. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys, for all your questions. That's it's hopefully it's been useful and you've had some things to take away there. As you'll notice, you can't see me anymore. As I've been having camera issues on my laptop, so I joined on my phone the last couple of pods, and then my phone died. It ran out of battery, so you can't see me now. But we're nearly the end of the pod now, so yes, you'll have to bear with that. Sorry about that. But let's just look at our teams then, and just briefly talk about our plans for Game Week 4. So my team is on the screen right now, and essentially I do not know what my plans are for Game Week 4. I think I'm going to do Wallace to Bidwell to Giles, I think. But the thing that has crossed my mind is the original plan of Midfield Dynamos in Game Week 4 still tempts me slightly, particularly if Gyökeres is going to leave Coventry, which is unclear at the moment. But if he did leave, it would make like triple captaining Gordon in their double is slightly less of an attractive prospect, and I have Wallace, Swift, Chair, Brownhill with great fixtures. The difficulty is I could just start field and bench like Pirro, or I could take a hit like downgrade Pookie and upgrade field, but then I'm committing to a restructure. And then I would have a weak defense, or I'd have to take a -8 to get Giles. So it's complicated. I don't know where I'm going to land this time tomorrow. But yeah, Midfield Dynamos is a potential option, or I might just play no boost and just do Bidwell to Giles and just do that, nothing else. Captaincy, if I don't play a boost, I'll probably captain Jed Wallace and vice captain probably Chair. Although I do have a sneaky feeling Pookie might score this time. It's just a hunch that Pookie's going to score this game week, home to Huddersfield. So maybe
Still not owning Wyman. Still not owning.
Well, if I do the downgrade from Pookie down to someone else and then upgrade field, I'd probably get to Vyman. We'll see. I don't know. Vyman's one of those where I can just see it now. I'm going to be stubborn. Like I tried to find a way to get him in for Game Week 3, but it meant either getting rid of Pookie, which I wasn't ready to do yet, or like hits. I really wanted to sell Obafemi and not Pirro, and so I just didn't make it work. And then Obafemi was the one that returned anyway, so anyway. That's me. Tricky. It's tricky times. I'm not sure what I'm doing, as you can see. Anyway, David's team is next.
Yeah, I'm happy you went first because I had almost forgot that I also was considering midfield then was because I started with 4 kind of up there expensive midfielders, and yeah, maybe that's like the play actually for my team because I have Swift and Wallace with a good game. And what I can do is downgrade Pukki to Wyman and get Tsar or something. So I actually like that. So I was considering just getting rid of Perot and Pukki, but maybe I just get rid of Wyman and get Tsar if that's impossible. I'll check. But yeah, I think I'll consider playing that boost. Yeah, I think so.
Interesting that you're along the same thoughts there.
Who are your captains gonna be this week?
I had it on. I had Wallace and Swift vice captain and captain, but I'm not sure if that's where I'm going to go because I think it's just like in spite of because I have Pukki and I don't want to captain him.
I'm just thinking I might vice captain Brownhill again. Actually,
Ooh, that's nice.
maybe. Abhishek, your team is on the screen now.
Yeah, I think the main issue is with Biro. I think he needs to go now because I don't think Swansea are looking that good. And if they are going to be winning the 1-0s and 87 minutes, 88 minutes, they're going to score those goals, then I hardly believe that Biro will get goals. So Biro is the only sell option this week. I think possibly I'm looking at various forwards. Let's see who I bring in. Hint Jacob Brown, but don't we'll have to see who Stoke faces this week. So yeah, that's going to be a tough decision for me because Pero was going to be as our predominantly goal scorer, but Swansea are not looking good. So probably the right time to sell him now. And I think I am going to be looking at Sheffield United now because they are having a good fixture turn now, and so whatever guys you have mentioned, I will be keeping a keen watch. I think Sorinola, I think he will be Sheffield United defender might be good. As far as captaincy is concerned, I mean it's on Swift. It will probably be on Swift. Vice captain will be Wyman. I just hope Pukki starts firing sooner rather than later because that's a whole lot of our budget that's been invested on him. So yeah, that's me for game week 4 until we'll be waiting for Angus's injury report and team sheet report before doing anything. So if I see that something is off from Angus's tweet, then I might take a hit as well. So yeah, as of now, this is my team.
Amazing. And that is it. That concludes the episode. And hope you've enjoyed it. And thank you very much for tuning in. And good luck in game week 4. It's our first midweek Gaffr game week of the season. So games coming thick and fast. And we will see you next time. So it's a goodbye from me.
Ha det bra.
Namaste from me.